Hi everyone, Chillax here and welcome back to another Anchor Panic video. So as you can see before you, Alice's rerun banner has arrived and it will last for 1 week. The purpose of today's video is to talk about how to build her and how to optimally run her in a MonoLightning team. And so the structure of this video will be as follows. First, we'll go over whether to pull or pass on this banner. We'll next go over her skill kit and signature sigil. That way you understand the value that she brings to the table. We'll go over her optimal model sets and what main stats to go for models 4, 5, and 6. Of course, we'll also go over remodel stats to roll for. We will go over the optimal signature sigil and powers, as well as alternatives to her signature sigil in case you are missing it. And of course, we will do an Entropy Cataclysm showcase, which is the game mode I think where Alice shines the most. So without further ado, let's begin. First, should you summon on her banner? I think the answer is no, because firstly, most of you guys will have already selected one copy of her excuse me, from the starter banner, where you select between Alice, Dawn, or Merlot. And the second reason is because the more important reason is because Frostjade's limited time banner is out and she is meta defining. To understand how important she is, I highly recommend that you watch my previous video on the top 4 normal arena teams post Frostjade release, because she's absolutely insane. You want, whether you are a free-to-play player or a whale, to get her to Ascension 3. That is your objective. For my free-to-play account, I already have her A2 and her signature sigil, and I'm 1 pity away from her A3. And we still have 2 weeks to go. So this is certainly doable for any free-to-play player who is playing the game actively. This is very important because Ascension 3 Frostjade will grant her 2 revives, which is very important for either PvE or PvP, or if you plan on running a mono ice team in the future. And of course, get the signature sigil as well. Okay, so now let's go over her skill kit. So Alice's kit revolves around her ability to generate a charge stack and then to expend it the following turn. What do I mean by this? When Alice does an attack that does not crit, it grants her 1 stack of charge, which increases her crit rate by 15%, max 4 stacks. And I presume that an attack would be like a normal attack. I don't know if skill counts as an attack as well. I don't know. But regardless, upon critting, she will consume all charge stacks and deal bonus lightning damage equal to 25% of her attack. Thanks to Kwa Sensei, shout out to you, my man. He was explaining to me not only how to build Alice, but also like what ideal rotation you're trying to achieve, which is you want to not crit first to get a charge stack, then you crit the following turn with the charge stack to get the 25% extra lightning bonus attack, and then the 3rd turn you don't crit to get a charge stack, and then 4th turn you exhaust the charge stack upon critting to do extra lightning damage. So you alternate between critting and not critting. And so for this reason, Kwa was explaining to me that ideally your crit rate should fall between 51 or 50 to 55%. It shouldn't go over 60%. This allows her a reasonable enough opportunity to generate a charge stack by not critting. And this frees up your stat slots to go into more crit damage or more base attack and other important stats. Yes. And then for her talent 2, it incentivizes her to run her on a MonoLightning team, because for each allied lightning operator on the field, there's no positional requirement. Her own crit damage increases by 7.5%. So if she has 4 lightning operators partnered up with her, she will get 30% extra crit damage, which is an insane multiplier. And then, skill is a single target hit, and then Energy Burst is also single target hit, and for each enemy defeated, her own crit damage increases by 10%, up to 5 stacks. Now, this has more implication in PvP, but in PvE, there's certain content like Entropy Cataclysm, where there's only one boss, and you're obviously not going to take advantage of this. But it's a very hard-hitting energy burst that has very high multipliers, so compared to other operators, so it's still quite good. And then for her signature sigil, it provides lightning damage, provides 8% defense ignore, which by the way is a very rare stat. It's quite uncommon to see this in any signature sigil. So Alice got quite lucky here. And when equipped by Alice, each crit hit applies a cripple effect, where you reduce the target's life steal and healing effect by 2%, lasting 1 turn up to 10 stacks, as well as additional attack increased by 1%, lasting 1 turn up to 10 stacks. So, when she crits, she gets more attack. She also reduces the enemy's healing. So that's very unique to her sigil that not many other operators have. Okay, so now let's go over her optimal model sets. Now there's only one viable model set to optimize her damage, and that's 4-piece lightning, 2-piece attack boost. 4-piece lightning, obviously, because she's in a MonoLightning team traditionally, where you are constantly applying shock stacks. And with a 4-piece lightning set, when she hits a target with a shock stack, her lightning damage increases by 15%, and if the target has 5 or more shock stacks, then the lightning damage increases by an additional 20%. So it's a lot of extra lightning damage on top of her passive 1. And then, from her passive 1, we said that the lightning damage, the additional lightning damage scales off of her attack. So naturally you want high base attack, which the 2-piece attack model set provides, which basically optimizes her damage. Now, in terms of remodel effects, I'm going to read off what Kwa Sensei recommended. I pinned it. So he basically recommended that for remodel sets, you go for 10 crit damage, 12 base attack percent, and the remaining into crit rate until you hit the magic number, which we said was between 50 to 55%, and then the rest into flat attack. And then in terms of models 4, 5, and 6, you're going to go with speed, crit rate, and crit damage. That's recommended. Okay, and then in terms of sigil and powers, I got so lucky, guys. So Kwa was recommending that for sigil and powers you go lightning damage, crit damage, and defense penetration. Because she has ways to get crit rate quite reliably, and you don't want her critting all the time. The first empower I did, which costs 1 of the resource, I got lightning damage, defense penetration, and I think like quantum damage or something. And then 2 remodels later, I got crit damage. So I got so lucky, guys. Yeah, so this is the optimal empower attribute to go for. You don't need speed on her because ideally you want her to move last, and you're not going to run her in PvP, so you don't have to worry about outspeeding your opponent. This is what to go for. And if you don't own her signature sigil, for the longest time I was running her on this one, Arrival of the Outsider. Although with the knowledge that I have now, this is actually not ideal. Ideally you want to go with a crit damage one, whether it be, if I can find it, like Falling Monolith is quite good. This happens to also increase your crit rate. And then there's another crit damage one, if I can find it. I think it's Whale Echo. Yeah, Whale Echo. This one might be better. So I think of all of them, Whale Echo might be the best, because the next best stat is crit damage, although she scales very well off of base attack too. So, Guiding Beacon might be really good. Actually, Guiding Beacon might be the best because energy burst damage increases by 17% for each same element ally on the field gains an extra 5%. She has a lot of excellent choices, so don't feel like you need to get her signature sigil to do well. She has a bunch of excellent alternatives. Okay, so now let's go over the Entropy Cataclysm showcase. Yeah, and I waited for Daily Reset to do the recording, that way I can show you guys. Okay, so this is the MonoLightning team. I do have a dedicated Entropy Cataclysm guide, so if you want to know more about my other 4 teams besides this one, you can check out that video. But this is essentially the team. I did some playtesting with Thunderrock and I found this team to have the highest damage output, so I stuck with it. Essentially, you're running your Abyss Elysia as the tank in the center to take hits by the opposing boss Ash, who hits focus opposite, so symmetrical opposite, right? Which will target Abyss Elysia, who can tank and also revive. And then you're going to run double striker in the form of Alice and Carnissa, as well as Ling, who's going to break the boss, as well as provide crit rate buffs to her teammates. And then you have Echo providing the offensive buffs and passive heals. So let's go ahead and run this. And it's been 2 weeks since we've had Entropy Cataclysm, so I don't quite remember how much damage this team is capable of outputting. But because I was able to get Alice's Ascension to Ascension 6 recently, and I did finally get her signature sigil, I expect my damage output to be even higher than before. Yeah, and we're doing very well. Our Abyss Elysia already bursted on round 1, so we're starting off strong. Yeah, so as you can see here, Abyss Elysia is taking the hit, and her passive 1 provides her 30% damage reduction, so that's quite nice. Okay, so we did an Electro Ban there with Echo, unfortunately, so the damage output won't be as high, but we're not on an infinity stage yet, so I don't really care that much right now. This is more just showcasing the... So by round 2 we've already broken Ash completely, that way our energy burst has like full damage output. I wonder if I'm able to show you the damage calcs at the very end. Alice's damage should be one of the highest, even higher than Abyss Elysia, but we'll see. And of note is that Ling, starting Ascension 3, is able to provide crit rate for her allies depending on whether or not the enemy has a crossbow debuff. And the more Ascensions that you have on Ling, whether it be A3 or A6, the lower amount of crit rate you need to stack onto your Alice, allowing you to move it instead onto like base attack or crit damage for your model empowers or remodels. This is the Echo debuff, by the way, the one that turns off the enemy's energy burst as well as allows you to do extra lightning damage on the enemy. And these are the shock stacks I was talking about, and when the enemy has 5 or more shock stacks with a 4-piece lightning model set, you do extra damage. Like 25, did we say 20%? I think it was 25% or 20, I forget. Okay. Yeah, and we're on, this is only 6 rounds. As you can see, Echo's passive heals is enough to allow us to survive until the very end. So we're at 5 stacks now, 6 stacks of shock. So we're getting a lot of mileage from all the lightning model sets. Hopefully we burst with Abyss Elysia here, we do. Yeah, so we're doing quite well. I mean, at this point we're on level 6 out of 10 against Ashe, and we've already, with just the MonoLightning team, already almost took her out with just this team. Damage record's perfect. Okay, so Abyss Elysia still ended up doing more damage than Alice, I think in part because I Stellaroned my Abyss Elysia, and her model and powers are more optimized compared to my Alice, so that makes a lot of sense. But as you can see, Alice does about 50% more damage than Carnissa does, and they have the same number of ascensions and that sort of thing. So for this reason, Alice is very valuable. Pulling her weight definitely in the overall damage calculation. So guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope this was informative. If you haven't already, please don't forget to drop a like, comment, and subscribe. I try to upload at least one Anchor Panic video every day. That way you guys are constantly staying up to date and learning the latest strategies. So anyways, I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care.